After leaving my marital home, I had to start all over, from being homeless to couch surfing and now finally settling into my new apartment with my son in Atlanta. Now, when I moved across the country, I had to leave everything, but I ordered an air mattress and it arrived the same day I did. Now, I only slept on it for a few nights before I purchased my new bed, but I decided to keep it around because I liked the idea of having somewhere to lay while I was in the living room watching TV. Over time, I've come to regret this decision. Now, my son still loves this thing, but for me, it's not as comfortable as it once was. So I ordered the Xandar by Latitude Run from Wayfair, and it just arrived. My name is Aaron. On this channel, I make lifestyle content on my journey as a recently divorced dad and creative entrepreneur. Now, I had a bunch of questions about ordering this particular sofa online, so I thought it was appropriate that I go ahead and make a review of the Xandar by Latitude Run from Wayfair. We ordered this thing. It took 8 days from order to delivery, and we timed putting it together at approximately 1 hour and 12 minutes with a 40-year-old man and a 5th grader. So if you got 2 adults, it's going to go way faster, but it wasn't bad. I was actually surprised how easily it came together. There wasn't a lot of variety in the screws, and I pretty much put it together without really looking at the directions more than like twice. So this one's not a project you're going to be spending hours upon hours on unless you're watching a movie. So you definitely don't have to have any hesitation about, getting rid of your old sofa and how long it's going to take you to get this one up. It's pretty smooth. Now, it arrived in 4 boxes, which I thought were way too small to accommodate the sofa the way I expected it to be. So I was hesitant, and I kind of was like opening the boxes very carefully because I didn't want to destroy it. I figured I was going to be returning it, but I was pleasantly surprised. And if you're on the fence, I definitely think this video will help you to make a purchasing decision. But first, I want to say this is not a sponsored video. I do have an affiliate code from Wayfair, but they didn't pay me or ask me to say anything specific. I just really wanted to document the experience of ordering a sofa online because it's definitely intimidating. It's not the same thing as going down to the furniture store, sitting down on everything and making sure it's exactly what you want. This is the video that I wish existed when I was shopping for this thing. Now, I went with the green, and honestly, when I assembled it the first night, I definitely thought I might have got the wrong color. The pictures made it look darker than I thought it was. My pants are like an olive green. This is what I was expecting, but it's more subtle than I expected it to be, but it still complements everything, so it's perfect for me. Now, as far as comfort, it has exceeded my expectations. I was kind of concerned because there's a lot of like really cheap, thin sofas out there, and I wasn't sure how thick those cushions were going to be. I'm 200 pounds. When I get up, I'd say the cushions don't look very worn, but I imagine over time, it might start to get a little bit soft. Even just comparing the ottoman, which I never sit on, compared to this seat cushion, you can see it looks a little bit more warm, but it's not bad. And I imagine, you can fluff it once a week and it'll still be fine. Long term, we'll have to see, but for now, it's great. It molds to my body whether I'm sitting or laying down. It's definitely not one of those super duper cheap sofas. It's budget friendly and it's good quality. Now, coming off of having an air mattress, I wanted to be able to lay down, and I was kind of worried that the model I got was a little bit too short. Now, I'm happy to report that it's perfect. Like, I'm 6 feet tall, and I'm able to lay down comfortably. My head is resting right here on this armrest. There's like a slight elevation between the seat and the armrest, but it's like the perfect pillow height, and my feet are not touching the other armrest. Technically, I can fit from armrest to armrest laying down. This is perfect. The armrest is nice and soft. It's low. I can just grab one of these pillows, toss it right here, and it feels amazing. Now, the other concern I had was whether or not the seats were deep enough for me to be able to lay down and have my son right here next to me. And I'm once again happy to report absolutely. Even before I remove pillows, I'm not sitting on the very edge of the couch. There's still pillows on the left side of me, and there's still a few inches to the right. Now, if I remove all these, there's still a ton of room for me to fit at least another mid-sized person, perfect for cuddling, laying down, watching movies, lounging, exactly what I'm looking to do. Now, the other thing is going to be laying on the ottoman. Really, at 6 feet, I can't lay down like this, but there's 2 things I can do. I could probably move these. Now, after I remove that, now I'm able to fit. That's perfect. Or I could do this. Turning the ottoman the long way, I definitely make it longer so it's kind of sticking out into the walkway, but now my back is much more comfortable. So you have options. Obviously, you don't have to leave it that way, and that's kind of why I opted for the smaller one. I was worried if I got the model with 2 ottomans, I'd be taking up way too much space. So This is perfect. One of the concerns that I had with this was going to be whether or not the sofa was going to be too low to the ground. I spent a lot of time in Airbnbs, and I've had some sofas that are very low to the ground, so much so that it's distracting in addition to just being uncomfortable. There's literally some sofas where I sit down and my knees are sitting at my chest height. Now, I'm 6 feet tall, and I'm happy to say that in this particular case, they're right about where they should be. One of the often overlooked parts of a sofa is the back. I found lots of sofas online that I love, but the back would make them look cheap and uncomfortable, so I was afraid to take the risk. The headrest here sits lower than the pillows, but the main thing is that aesthetically, it looks better than some of those more boxy sofas I've seen on other sites. Another quick note is that the pillow on the top of the ottoman is not actually attached to the base, so when you're putting your feet up, you can knock it off if you're not careful. Not a huge deal, just wanted to give you all the information so you know. Now with armrests, I only had a couple of questions. How high are they up from the seat? Are they comfortable? And are they wide enough for me to sit down or leave a drink or a remote or whatever? And on all fronts, I think these are like the perfect height. I think everything checks out perfectly. At 6 feet, if I'm leaning back, my elbows are comfortably on the armrest. They're more than wide enough to fit a drink or the remote. And the armrests are also close enough to serve as a pillow if I'm ever laying down. Like the height difference between the armrest and the cushion are like, it's just 6 inches maybe. I don't know what the exact measurement is, but it's not very significant. So if I'm laying down, this is like the perfect height for me to be able to use this as a pillow, and it's comfortable. Like this is pretty soft. But I'll typically grab a pillow, lay it down, and then this is a perfectly comfortable resting spot if I ever want to lay across the couch. Now, given the way these are constructed, I definitely don't advise like sitting on these like consistently, but I could definitely sit here comfortably. It doesn't feel like this is too thin. But the base of the sofa and the armrests are held together by just a couple little brackets. So honestly, I don't recommend sitting here. But yeah, this is wide enough for you to comfortably do that if you're a smaller person. Now, I did read where some reviews said that the pillows were a little bit too thin, and I tend to agree. Personally, I was planning on getting some polyfill to make these pillows softer, but then I decided to just go ahead and get additional pillows because I'd rather have the contrast as well as the comfort of more pillows. I opted for 4 lighter pillows. These are much softer than the ones that it comes with, but if you don't want to add additional pillows, you can definitely just order some polyfill to make them softer, or honestly, they're not even that bad. It's just I like a softer pillow. This is what the pillows that it comes with feel like. They're not terrible. This is mine, much softer. And I like the idea of having the lighter color to offset the green. So for me, it's the contrast as well as the comfort. But you could definitely fill them up and make them softer if you want. It's not needed, but I like to add a little bit of personal touch. I don't want my stuff to look just like how everyone else's looks out the box. And I also added this purple velvet blanket, which is perfect for when I want to get cozy. And I'm happy to report the first night I got this thing, we actually fell asleep on it. And the second night, we did the exact same thing. This thing is comfortable, it's cozy, it's exactly what I wanted it to be. I hope I answered any questions you guys might have about this. If you have any others, I'll be checking the comments periodically. If you guys found any value in this video, make sure you give this video a like. If you want to follow my journey, hit subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.